unboxing is a middle grade book. It's called The Sky We Shared by Shirley Reva Vernick. And it's set in southern Japan, where Tomiko is dreaming about making theatrical costumes and praying that her brother Kyo is going to come back from the war. And then on the other hand, there's Nellie in Oregon. And this is about Project Fugo during the last stretch of World War II, where I don't know how they interact. I don't actually know about Project Fugo. Sounds really interesting. So, let's see. It's a story. It doesn't say exactly, but it sounds like it's a true story. It's two girls who are lonely and they're pulled together. I mean, Nellie in Oregon is also, she has, they're rationing food, they're doing salvage drives, and, their community is, going through war as well. Project Fugo, I don't actually know what it is, but let's read the first page. This is by Cinco Puntos Press, which is an imprint of Lee and Low, and I believe the age range is middle grade, but I'm not positive. Sometimes we can tell just from reading it. Just from the length and from the font size, it feels like it's 8 and up or maybe 10 and up. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the down box. Okay. Oh, Shirley lives in Amherst, Mass, so it's like in my state. So Nellie Dode, April 29th, 1945, in Bly, Oregon. I lie on my back in the front yard, spyglass in hand. Not that I'm spying on anyone. Why would I want to look into someone's window when I can look at the whole universe? Besides, everyone has their blackout shades pulled. I sprint into the eyepiece and pick out the big and little dippers, the lion, the hydra, the twins. I always start with the constellations, then turn to the gibbous moon and the dog star. It's late, but it's a clear, warm night. The downy grass soft on my neck, the scent of lilacs and charcoal in the air, crickets chirping, a buffalo croaks. I could stay right here all night, even if Mother says it's an unseemly thing for a girl going on 15 years old to do. Oh, so maybe this is middle grade. Oh, maybe this is young adult. My pa taught me about the sky. He'd be stretched out right alongside me tonight if he weren't in the service. The Army has him posted in the Aleutian Islands, which I'd never heard of before, but now I know they're part of Alaska. I worry about Pa up there, but not as much as I used to. After all, we routed the Japanese from the Aleutians 2 whole years ago. Now the posters say Alaska is a death trap for the Jap. Good. Okay, so maybe it's in alternating chapters by each character. So yeah, Tomiko Nakaoka, September 15th, 1944. So that's earlier. So she's in Shinjicho village near Kure City, Japan. And it looks like it starts off, she's writing a letter. She's writing a letter to her ancestors. Ancestors, it's a warm afternoon in Shinjicho. I feel you in the breeze as I walk home from school. The little boys on our crooked little road race around me, giggling and squealing, pretending to be fighter planes, their arms outstretched and heads bent. And still I can hear you in the wind. Parents, grandparents, and all those who came before you, whispering welcome for my return. The summer was long, and now that summers are for working and not for resting, my older brother Kyo and I were sent to the rice paddies in the countryside to harvest food for our soldiers. It was difficult work, hunched over the rice stalks under the hot sun, but it had its good points. Well, it had one good point. We ate better than we do here. Food is scarce here in Shinjicho. The enemy is cutting off our shipments. What does get to our islands must go to our soldiers, of course. Still, even though our village has grown lean, I'm glad to be back home out of the sweltering sun and onto my own futon. So yeah, the voice feels adultish, So I feel like this is definitely young adult, but the voice, even for a teenager, feels adultish. But maybe back in that time, you know, almost 80 years ago, maybe kids wrote a little bit more formally. So anyway, an interesting story about World War II from two perspectives. And it looks like this Project Fugo has to do with balloons, you know, like food packages. Maybe it's like a food delivery. And I don't know where. Probably in Japan, where they don't have, you know, they're literally, there's no food during, like, post-war. So, interesting. Thank you to Lee and Lo for sending it to me, and thank you for watching.